Mary Agnes Moroney was abducted from her Chicago home in 1930 at the age of 2 by a woman who posed as a social worker. Despite extensive investigations, Mary Agnes was never found. In 1952, a woman named Mary McClelland came forward, claiming to be Mary Agnes. While she was initially identified as Mary Agnes, DNA tests later revealed she was not the missing child. The case remains unsolved. In February 2023, new information emerged that may shed light on the case. Hello and welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please subscribe and press the bell notification. Let's have a look at the oldest cold case solved in 2023. The case of Mary Agnes Moroney. On May 9, 1928, Mary Agnes Moroney was born in Chicago, Illinois, the first of Michael and Catherine Moroney's 2 daughters. Michael earned only $15 per week passing out handbills when the couple started their family soon before the Great Depression began, and the family struggled to make ends meet. A charitable organization received a letter from a relative of Catherine, and a paragraph was printed on their plate. The service does not typically reveal addresses, but a woman was able to uncover the family's location, 5200 Wentworth Avenue, thanks to a slip. On May 14, 1930, Mary Agnes's mother answered a knock at the door and was greeted by a woman who introduced herself as Julia Otis. She claimed to have been sent by a social worker to handle the Moroney family's case. The woman was described as being well-dressed, about 22 years old, with protruding teeth and a cultured voice. The woman asked if she might temporarily take Mary Agnes to California with her after Catherine revealed the family's numerous issues, saying that she would be unrecognizably large and as fat as a butterball. The woman offered Catherine $2 and fled after Catherine promised to come back. The woman returned the following day, but this time she had baby clothes because Catherine was expecting. The woman offered to drive Mary Agnes to a local store so she could buy some clothes and shoes and said she had arranged for Catherine's husband, Michael, to have a better job. Catherine reluctantly agreed. Later, she remarked that Mary Agnes wept and objected to going with the woman but was nonetheless abducted. Agnes and the mystery woman never came back. The parents of Mary Agnes contacted the police and started looking for their lost daughter. The day after taking Mary Agnes, Julia Otis wrote a letter to the Moroney family. "Please don't be alarmed," it said. "Your little girl is traveling with me to California, and I've hired a specialized nurse to take care of her. When we return in 2 months, you will be able to care for her since you will be able to stand up again. She is dressed like a princess and didn't scream at all. I'll do everything I can to help you get back on your feet in the meantime. Concerning her or anything else, don't worry. When you receive this letter, we will already be en route. As always, Julia Otis." The Moroney family never heard from the woman who claimed to be Julia Otis again after this. Police searched all of Chicago's train stations in search of any indication that Mary Agnes had been brought aboard a train. A woman who went by the name of Alice Henderson wrote the Moroneys a letter 2 weeks after the kidnapping, claiming that Otis was her cousin and that she was in need of affection because her own husband had recently given birth to a child and perished away more than a year before. Henderson never wrote again, and according to officials, Otis' letter was written in the same handwriting as Henderson's. Unfortunately, authorities were unable to find either Mary Agnes or the woman who kidnapped her. Over the years, there were many sightings, but none of them could be confirmed, and the case eventually went cold. Every now and then, especially when other kids went missing, articles concerning Mary Agnes would appear in the press. After some time, Chicago Daily News reporter Eden Wright became interested in her story after noticing something peculiar about the Moroney family in a photograph: how much they all resembled one another. The newspaper wrote the Chicago Daily News convinced a California newspaper to print pictures of the Moroney family, hoping it would lead to Mary Agnes. A man reportedly found the images and claimed that one of Mary Agnes' sisters resembles his wife so much that it might have been her in the picture. The woman is a 24-year-old homemaker named Mary McClelland. 6 additional siblings were born after Mary Agnes vanished, and she came forward in 1952, stating that she had assumed she was Mary the lost girl after seeing pictures of her siblings. Within a year of the kidnapping, Charles and Nora Beck adopted Mary McClelland. Dr. Krause identified her as a member of the family after examining and comparing her dental castings. The doctor declared that Mary McClelland's skull and blood revealed that she was a Moroney, notwithstanding Catherine Moroney's false assertion that she knew her. 22-year hunt for abducted infant ends was the headline on the front page of the Chicago Daily News on September 3, 1952. The tabloid allegedly set up a meeting between McClelland and Catherine Moroney and claimed that features in McClelland's teeth helped identify her as Mary Agnes. Catherine remarked that she is a wonderful person and a terrific lady, but she is not my daughter. Dr. E.W. Marathon, an elderly doctor, said that he delivered Mary McClelland on November 17, 1927, to an unidentified mother. Her mother then produced a newborn photo of her daughter, dated 1928, proving that she had been adopted 2 years prior to the kidnapping. Mary McClelland did not have the scar Mary Agnes had at the time of her disappearance, despite the fact that Mary Agnes had surgery to repair a ruptured navel. Additional DNA testing established that she wasn't Mary Agnes. In 2005, she passed away. After Mary McClelland passed away in 2008, a DNA test was conducted to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she was not Mary Agnes. In February 2023, it was revealed that DNA analysis had established a connection between Mary Agnes' surviving family and Jeanette Burchard's kin, a 75-year-old resident of Florida who passed away in 2003. Being raised as an only child, Jeanette Burchard was married twice, had 3 children, and worked as a nurse for more than 50 years. It was disclosed to Jeanette's family that she was born on April 14, 1928. Moreover, she spent the first 6 years of her childhood in Chicago and lost her biological father 2 months after her birth. She was brought up by her stepfather, Frank Darris, and mother, Jeanette Saleric Darris Anderson. Jeanette was raised by the couple as a devoted Catholic. Edward Jennings was married to Jeanette. She remarried decades later, this time to Earl Burchard. Her 2 spouses have both since died. Terry Arnold, Barbara Joan, and Edward Clifton Jennings Jr. were Jeanette's 3 children. Terry Arnold and Barbara Joan Jennings died in 2006, and Edward Clifton Jennings Jr. Terry Arnold, Jeanette's still living daughter from Florida, has unpredictably been involved in a famous Chicago cold case. Terry said that in September 2022, a Cook County detective called her and asked if she would be willing to take a DNA test to find out more about her mother, who had died. Terry initially believed it could not be true, so she made the decision to submit to the DNA test in an effort to disprove the detective. On October 28, 2022, the results were received, and they showed that everything was not as it seemed. Despite the fact that Jeanette Burchard's mother's side of the family was Polish, Terry claimed that her DNA tests showed she is actually primarily Irish. The Moroney family is also Irish. According to Terry, who spoke to the Chicago Sun-Times, "My family is completely different from what I was always led to believe," and she said she's very confident her mother was Mary Agnes. She has subsequently received this information. According to Terry, her mother adored the Miami Dolphins and opera The Cat. She was reportedly born in Chicago, but her biggest accomplishment was being the world's best mother. Lori Hart, a grandchild of Jeanette Burchard, understood the hurt that the Moroney family must have felt as a result of Mary Agnes's abduction, but she insisted that she is still fortunate to have Jeanette Burchard as her grandmother. Lori Hart remarked, "Anytime I needed her, she was there." Don Moroney, a 55-year-old resident of downstate Flanagan, is Mary Agnes' nephew and likewise believes his aunt has been located. The work of Cook County Sheriff's Office Detective Jose Rodriguez, who was tasked in June 2022 to look into Mary Agnes's disappearance as part of Sheriff Tom Dart's Missing Persons Project, led Terry and Lori to believe Jeanette Burchard was Mary Agnes. Jose Rodriguez and Commander Jason Morin said commercial DNA testing revealed the genetic association between Terry Arnold and members of Don Moroney's family and suggested they were all cousins, which left Terry trying to figure out whether Jeanette Burchard was Mary A.G. At the age of 49, Catherine passed away in 1962. Mary Agnes was only 17 years old when she was taken hostage. Father Michael of Mary Agnes passed away in 1957 at the age of 58. According to Don Moroney, his last words were, "They never found my baby girl," and the family had always hoped that his aunt would be located, that she was well cared for, and that she lived a wonderful life. Terry claimed that she had never heard of Julia Otis and was unsure of how Terry's grandma ended up raising her mother. I just feel horrible that the parents never knew what happened to their daughter, since all I know is that she ended up with her. In either case, the Moroney family can genuinely say that she was adored. Terry added that she is certain her mother would have contacted the Moroneys if she had been living to hear the news. She would have visited the family and assured them that she was okay. Thank you for watching us.